I think the biggest thing I have learned and what is the most helpful is telling myself like I have to have fun. I have to have fun doing whatever I'm doing. If it's like some dumb commercial audition where I'm like, I don't know, I've done a lot of dumb commercial auditions, but like if I'm not having fun with it, like as long as I have fun and I'm happy with the work that I've like because it's all self tapes now. So like with the tape that I sent in, once I've sent it in, that to me is like I have nothing else to do. Like everything is up to them and I know that whatever reason they did not choose me has nothing to do with me. Like it's like it could be a number of like a million reasons. It could be the dumbest reason. It could be like, oh, this chick reminds me of my ex-wife and like I hate my ex-wife. Like it's literally like it could be anything. And I think knowing that is so it creates just so much freedom um and I like that everything's a self-tape right now, kind of because I get to be my own director and I get to do whatever I want, whatever I think is funny and then I just send it off. So I think yeah, having fun, like enjoying whatever it is you're doing and then just being like, ah, it's out of my hands.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And just so anyone who watching who might not know, like typically in the audition process, you go in to a physical space, you audition in front of a camera with a casting director,
Mhm.
and then you might, I don't know if this is still the case because I it's not my world anymore, but
Yeah.
you might get a callback and then go back in with like the director or the producer, and there's like more people in the room who will then give you feedback and see if you can sort of adjust your performance and things, and then from there you might either have a third audition or you might just get the role.
Yeah.
But what you're describing is happening more now is self tapes, which is
Hmm.
you're basically in your own house.
Hmm.
You set up your camera, you do the audition by yourself. Usually, you
Hmm.
might have like a reader, someone who's like reading the other lines for you.
Yep.
Um, and so your take is you prefer the self tape avenue because you have more control over sort of
Hmm.
what happens in the audition.
Yeah, I think yeah, I like to have more of a control over my performance. And I think that's that makes the best work. That's when I do the best work is when I can just kind of do my own thing. So yeah, the self tape. So you do the self tape, and then yeah, you send that off, and then usually yeah, you'll get the callback is usually in person. And then it's pretty much just like what you did in the audition. So the first audition, it's yeah, and then they tweak it a bit, and then they work with you. Um, and it's basic the callback is basically to see if they can work with you in my personally I think that's what it's mostly about and if you can be directed and stuff like that. So once you've established like that foundation of that original audition, where you're like, I made these choices, like making choices, make your choices, by the way. Like, don't just be like what you think that they want. Make your own choices, and then once you're like have that solid foundation, then to me the callback is much easier because that's when you can kind of be like, oh, now I get to work with these people a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point too about putting your own, like making it your own as opposed to just doing the thing that you think that they want.
Mhm.
Um, and that was something that I really noticed in your audition. I still remember your audition, by the way, from Headliners. Yours and Peter's.
Yes, Peter. Oh my God.
Peter who played Dimitri, who was this sort of really insane character.
Insane.
Just both of your auditions were so spot on, and it was not even because it was what I had imagined. It was because you brought something and Peter brought something to it that gave it that little extra thing, that gave it the thing that I didn't even know I wanted.
Hmm.
And I think that's the case for a lot of creative endeavors, whether it be acting, writing, whatever. It's like a lot of the time, the people who are making these assessments about what they are going to commission or who they are going to hire, they don't even know what they want until they see it.
Exactly.
And so it serves you, at least in my experience, to do the thing that you want to do. And
And if they don't like it, then they don't like it. And if it's not
exactly.
what they want, then it's not what they want. But as long as you Like, because I can't perform something if I didn't put my own perspective on it. Like, I've done auditions where they give you nothing, like when they give you that like one short little like 2 line thing, they don't give you the whole script. It's just like I hate those ones where it's just like there's no indication, there's no clues about this character whatsoever. But those are also good because then you can be like, okay, well now I can just do whatever at the same time. And it's like, but I love when the writing is already really good and then you can add yourself to it.
One thing I wanted to ask too, because there's maybe it's different now that there's mostly self tapes happening. But part of the audition process for me when I used to do it was memorizing the lines. And a lot of actors don't do that. I see a lot of actors holding the script,
Mhm.
and I wonder your take on this because for me, I'm like part of the audition, especially if you're coming up and young and not De Niro.
Yes.
Part of the audition is proving that you actually can memorize lines.
Yes.
Do you think that that's important to do that, or do you think that holding the script is just as good?
Well, for me personally, I can't be fully like free if I'm holding a script. Like it takes me kind of out of the world. Um, and I'm no longer focusing on literally the world and what this person is going through in the moment and trying to listen to the lines coming at me and reacting to that and how I feel about that. It's like with a script in my hand, I can't do that. And so, and with if I'm thinking about the lines, then I can't be natural and authentic in the moment and react naturally and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I personally, I don't really, but some people they can do that. So it really depends on like you as an actor. And it's weird because like there's a lot of actors that just simply don't yeah, they just don't memorize. There was I can't remember his name, but he's on White Lotus and he was saying how he just doesn't memorize his lines, or he can look at it and they have like a photographic memory and they just like know it. But like I've never been like that. I've always like struggled to like memorize lines. So I've always like, as long as I have the lines down, I'm not memorizing how I'm gonna say them. That's like, I think that a lot of actors will like not only memorize the lines, but memorize how they think it should be done. But when you get on set, like you don't have any prior rehearsal experience, you get on set, it's like you have to deal with whatever's going on in the moment and the person across from you, and you've never rehearsed with them before. And to me, I think if you don't know your lines, like I don't know. Like there's so much going on set and there's so many different moving parts and people moving around and yelling at you and it's just I don't I just it's one less thing to worry about.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Having your lines down just sort of takes a layer of pressure off. Like I remember one of the weirdest things uh, when I was acting on sets. One of the weirdest things that you don't even really think about is going to be hard is like hitting your mark. And hitting your mark, for those who don't know, meaning like usually the camera department will put like a little piece of tape down on the floor. And if you're like walking or running or jogging or dancing or cartwheeling into a scene, that's where you have to land so that you're in the right light and the camera's positioned correctly and so on and so forth. But you also don't want to look down because then they'll be like, well, we know that you're looking down at the
Yeah.
mark. So for me, that was always a trick that you really have to learn to do your lines, totally engaged in the scene, be the character in that moment, try to do the joke, try to do the cartwheel, do whatever the crazy thing you have to do, but also like be aware of where the mark is without letting anyone know that you're aware of that. And then also hitting it correctly so that the camera guy doesn't get mad at you, right? How
So
much
many things. Yeah.
yeah. How much of that is like going on in your head? And then now in modern filming, is there other stuff that's going on? Is there, especially on a show like Office Movers, where there's like a lot of stuff going on,
Mhm.
are there other distractors that like pull your attention away from stuff like that? Or are you able to really focus?
I will say I'm actually pretty good at focusing, and I will say I very rarely like break in a scene too. Like I'm very much like immersed in the world, and so like everything to that person that I'm playing is like very serious. Like everything is very serious to them. Like this is real. And so I think when like something like happens, um, like people usually break when like someone says something that wasn't like planned or right or whatever, and it's just like thrown in, and then everyone breaks. But it's like to me, I'm like as the character, I'm like I have to respond to that in the world rather than like I don't know, I just don't break.
No, that's amazing. I cannot say I have that skill. I definitely broke on headliners. I broke 100 times. A
Oh,
lot of one of the great things about your performance on headliners that I love is the way that you would deliver it, because like your character was insulting, but also like would come on sexually to the other characters.
right.
So like this combination of like being like, you sexy idiots, like the way you did it was
Like you
just
broke
so funny.
that.
Because it's like such a weird juxtaposition of uh, like a come on, but also an insult.
Yeah.
And you just delivered it so seriously, like as if that character like meant it with all
Oh
her
yeah. Oh
heart.
yeah. And
And that
that's
was
what's
like,
so funny to me is like they
yeah,
mean these things so much. Yeah. Anyway.
yeah, no, that was some of my favorite stuff. So I think it's great that you can not break. I think that's a really good skill to have as an actor for sure.
I take great pride in it. No, okay, I have broken on stage during like sketch comedy and stuff once or twice, but usually it's if like my like costume fucks up or something like that, and it's just like a very like obvious like visual like fuck up, and then I have to kind of step out and like and then I'll start to laugh. I'm kind of like laughing with the audience, but that's usually when I have broken in the past. But yeah, no, I'll take it really seriously.
That's great. If you could give advice to young performers,
Very
sketch
good question.
artists, actors, do you have any advice for someone who's just kind of starting out?
Don't go to theater school.
No, but that's an important
No,
thing.
I
Like a lot
honestly
of people talk about like film school and theater school, and for you, it wasn't particularly helpful.
no, I didn't find it very helpful at all. Like the experience was helpful and it actually taught me to be very like professional. So I think okay, yeah. So my advice is always okay, usually I'll tell people to be like get a therapist, don't go to theater school, and also just like figure out like who you are and what you enjoy doing, what makes you happy, what like yeah, just like what's something that like because you have to have fun because like I theater school basically made me not really enjoy acting anymore. It kind of took that out of me, and it took just doing sketch comedy with my best friends to realize, oh, I actually still like doing this. Like, and one of our things backstage to get pumped for our shows would be like to go like we would be like, we like this, because we had to remind ourselves that we enjoy doing this and we're not just like these serious theater actors. Like we kind of got like the shit kicked out of us in theater school, like where it became just like not fun, and it just was like so serious, and so we just have to like knock ourselves out of that and remind ourselves like this is fun, like, and the more fun we do have, the better it will be, the funnier, the more the audience will have more fun. But yeah, basically, yeah, starting out, just find out who you are, because then that's your brand, and then that's like when people see your brand so clearly, then they can't deny, like you stand out. Like they're like, we know who this person is. We know where they fit, and just enjoy yourself, and don't take this industry too seriously, because there's a lot of people in this industry that take it way too seriously. There were several agents that I had met with before I've been with my agent for almost 10 years now. But before I met her, and these ones were just like we're not. This should be a partnership. This is not you hiring me. I'm actually making money for you. The minute you sense ego on someone,
Mm.
don't listen to them. Don't take their advice.
I think trusting your gut and having fun are critical, because if you're not having fun, it reads, and then it sort of deflates the whole thing. I
Yep.
do want to just add a point about the agent thing. I've had a few different agents across my career. I've had acting agents. I have a literary agent now. And it's really, really important for people listening to know what you said, because certain there are a lot of really awesome, reputable agencies, and there are also a few like scammy type agencies. And especially if you're young and you don't know the difference, and they're like taking advantage of people because
Yes.
they ask for money up front, or they'll like say you have to get headshots from us and they cost $9,000. Or there's like all these sort of little tricky, sneaky things that some of
Mhm.
these scammier agents can do. So I would just say there's something called TAMAC, TAMAC,
Mhm.
and you want to get a TAMAC approved agent. And an agent will never take money from you
Mhm.
unless you are making money.
They should
Um,
never be taking more than 15%.
yep.
And yeah, you should never be paying anything up front. They should never be forcing you to take classes, paying for headshots. All of that should be on your own, in my opinion. Like they should never be dictating, like forcing you to spend money that you don't need to spend.
Uh-huh.